I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for visiting my channel. If you would like to receive additional information, please subscribe and follow me. With SummerSlam 2024, the WWE Universe was able to some moments that will forever be remembered, foremost among them all. Given that Roman Reigns, please return the original. When he arrived, the tribal chief left the world in awe. Out while the main event was taking on, including both Cody and his cousin Solo Sikoa. There are even those who would argue that it was the moment that went viral the most during a celebration of the summer. Nevertheless, after looking at the numbers, it's possible that Ripley has outperformed Reigns back for the context. Rhea Ripley, on the other hand, made quite an effect on the WWE Universe through her contributions. An outstanding achievement in comparison to Liv. This is perhaps the most unforgettable moment for Morgan. During the fight, the Eradicator emerged victorious. Her shoulder was violently popped back into place by slamming it against the wall with force. Table was announced, and indeed the answer was yes. The question is, it is precisely at this point when a homecoming by Roman Reigns that was outshined at a SummerSlam. So the comeback of Roman Reigns was nothing at all. A rating that is nothing short of outstanding. Impressive total of 29 million views throughout the board. Societal mediums, platforms, and nonetheless, it is reasonable to assert that there was a complete shoulder pop from Ripley. Outperformed him, accumulating an astounding amount of. The WWE Universe received 64.8 million views today. Unquestionably impressed by Mommy's outrageous behavior. Among the antics, the most astonishing thing is that, of the 64.8 million views, 60.8% were generated by, the only source is Instagram. Truly, Rhea Ripley is anything different, as well as her readiness to do, when she steps. You should do whatever to entertain her. It is what makes the squared circle what it is. One of the most well-known and well-liked superstars in the roster. And if there is one thing that is for definite, that she has a great deal more viral moments to look forward to. Roman Reigns is scheduled to make his return in 2024. Tonight's episode of SmackDown may include Roman Reigns. Rhea Ripley has exceeded it, but it has nevertheless. The return of his property is not affected in any manner. Both his presence and his acts were really impressive. When the main event was taking place, perhaps more so that, are the reasons why tonight will be even more as resolute and fascinating as the work of the WWE, because the cosmos will recognize him as he is. Begins his journey back to. Expectations for SmackDown are extremely high for the. In addition to being the founding tribe chief, though it may have lost Solo Sikoa the match, he may have had acquired an improbable ally in the form of Cody, Rhodes. But that is not the end of the story. He also, as of tonight on the Blue brand, it is possible that alter the path that the WWE will take in this way. That is beyond his ability to conceive of. He will look to reclaim the bloodline, and will he turn his back on it? Back to the undisputed World Wrestling Championship. There are questions regarding the championship that only he is able to provide an answer on. On the other hand, the fans will be holding on to their maintained vigilance in search of any sign of Roman. They listen to his song with their ears open. It will be fascinating to observe what he does this evening and the way in which it alters the landscape. The 2024 WWE SummerSlam was nothing short of spectacular. Dazzling, from moments that will leave you speechless to bouts with large stakes between WWE Summer. Each and every extravaganza was delivered. Despite this, there is one question that has come up. Following the clearing of the dust was whether Rhea, the women's universe who reigns supreme, Ripley, it was champion who had surpassed the much. Roman Reigns' expected return while at the same time, always commanding is the presence of Reigns. Take note of the following data and fans. It appears from the reactions that there is a possibility that performance stole the show. Let's have a look at the possible explanations for this. Are Roman Reigns and his return to the scene? For a long time, the tribe chief has been dominant, an essential component of the big event scene in WWE. His return to SummerSlam was awaited for many years. Promoted over several weeks, with anticipation growing, expectantly awaiting what would be his first experience. Since the appearance of WrestleMania's storylines dropped hints about a possible, significant change in the lineage of the family story, with possible betrayals and the formation of new alliances coming together around him in the beginning. Reigns' song with the same self-assurance that he always has, sending shivers through the multitude of people. Those in attendance were electrified and waiting, something that would undoubtedly be a momentous occasion. Reigns was victorious in the match that followed, showing his superiority through the use of a combination of power maneuvers and strategic maneuvers, psychological strategies in order to keep his grip on his. Indeed, it was a typical challenger. Reigns as the imposing force that broke down in a gradual manner down the opponent's Rhea Ripley's position, whereas, on the other hand, dominance the Rhea Ripley arrived at SummerSlam with a different kind of thing. The women's world gaining momentum throughout the entire process, she has been on a tear. A departure from the women's division, which leaves a trail of defeated adversaries following in her wake. When Ripley competed in SummerSlam, she faced off against an intimidating adversary who is an experienced veteran who, despite everything, has plenty to prove. In terms of the odds, Ripley took advantage of her tremendous power and dexterity in execution, carrying out a clinic that left the audience in awe. Ripley's performance was not in any way limited to. With regard to maintaining her title, this was a statement made by her when she entered the final position. The air that Belle Ripley emitted was one of irresistible power. The match was at a breakneck pace. The fact that Ripley exhibited a combination of raw power and technological expertise that very few possess, each and every one of the women's divisions can match. Maneuver was carried out with pinpoint accuracy, and the audience was kept interested in ring psychology, engaged throughout the entirety of the crowd's reaction. Despite the fact that both Reigns and Ripley delivered the difference in the world of stellar performances, the response of the crowd was observable. Although it was the primary event attraction, it was met with a variety of reactions from spectators, with some of them being overjoyed to see it back to him, but others appear to be more who are interested in the drama that is developing within Bloodline. The match itself, despite the fact that there was not the same level of reaction to Solid, the enthusiasm that his followers had for him before this encounters with, however, Ripley was a great. The tale has been different from the minute. As he went out, the crowd was already standing up. Potential for Rhea reverberated across the entire. Every single one of her famous moves in the arena was received with a resounding round of applause from a moment when she elevated her position over her head in the direction of victory. The atmosphere of the crowd was at its highest point. Furthermore, it was evident that Ripley had not only retaining her title, while also achieving victory in the hearts of the WWE. The buzz on social media in the universe in today. A significant part is played by WWE social media, demonstrating the influence of a superstar's following. There are hashtags associated to both SummerSlam. There was a trend on Twitter for Reigns and Ripley, but in a significant way, Ripley's engagement was high. Twitter and Instagram were used by fans to retweet on it, to compliment Ripley's performance, with a large number of naming her the most valuable player of the evening. A further in-depth examination of the numbers reveals that additional mentions were created by Ripley's match. Many platforms' worth of likes and shares, as compared to Reigns' post-match performance. A conversation in which she proclaimed herself to be the champion with the most dominant record in WWE history. Viral, contributing to her burgeoning popularity. Even more revealing was the increase, according to legend, regarding the sales of items for Ripley WWE's. The official store said that there was a considerable rise in the number of t-shirts sold by Ripley's. The ability to be remembered in the days that follow. At this point, SummerSlam is a very strong signal that supporters are not only cheering for, but also. However, Ripley is also present in the arena as a crucial metric, providing her with financial support. From the perspective of WWE's viewing figures, when examining the facts regarding viewership, the outcomes are comparable. Making public the WWE's YouTube channel that was uploaded, the highlights from both the match between Reigns within 24 hours, Ripley's The Match of Ripley, has received a greater number of views and comments over the Reigns. In the subsequent few years, this pattern persisted. Days with Ripley's most memorable moments, continuously surpassing expectation. Additionally, Nielsen ratings for Reigns are included. It was demonstrated via SummerSlam that Ripley's bout, one of the portions that received the highest ratings of night, in especially among the most important groups such as ladies between the ages of 18 and 34, the WWE caters to this particular group, have been eager to seize Ripley's appeal and capture it. This audience is not capable of being. The larger image was understated, and so was it. Rhea Ripley is more impressive than Roman Reigns at SummerSlam still maintains its position as one of the top attractions in WWE. According to the statistics, the responses of the fans indicate that there was a stronger resonance between performance. It is a demonstration of the audience that, additionally, Ripley's rising star power and the growth of the women's division of WWE as an organization. In its whole, Ripley's ascent is not merely, she has been a flash in the pan at last. With great care, she is developing her personality. Her abilities in the ring have only become better. Ever since she made her debut on the social scene, her skills in establishing a connection with the audience, she has positioned herself both in person and online. Considered one of the most prized assets of WWE, assets for Reigns when he is getting back to work, that it was substantial. It is possible to ascribe that the persona of the chief of the tribe requires the twist in order to keep its. WWE's primary focus has always been on dominance, transitioning in step with the times and as the preferences of the audience can and must change. The completion of the superstars in finale, the performance that Ripley gave at SummerSlam, certainly shone brighter than Roman Reigns in many respects. Ripley's numbers are not a lie in return, they are. Rivalry attracted more attention, which resulted in the buzz of social media and increased connections. Profoundly with. This is not to imply that Reigns is not a fan of the fans, as opposed to the fact that WWE is no longer a top draw. Seeing the ascent of a new star in the field of R, it's possible that Ripley SummerSlam 2024 will be known as the evening that Ripley solidified her position as the first woman in the WWE.